We're just going to make weird noises until I decide to hit the button. So you guys just might as well buckle in.
Noises.
Noises.
I like. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 183 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
I'm waiting for someone to say it.
Nate's not here. I feel like that's the point where Nate would jump in and say, "It's been a week."
It's been a week. So I'm telling you, I don't like setting it up for myself, right? I really don't like doing that. So it's always like, somebody else say it, damn it.
Nate usually does. And Nate usually does it's been a couple weeks because we missed last week because we were busy doing stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah, because it actually has been a week.
It has been. It's been a good couple of weeks. A lot of cool stuff happened. We got a bunch of new TV shows. I'm so happy. Like this week, I was like thinking about this week, and I was like, I got new shows. Like, this is amazing. I'm not stuck rewatching old content.
All right, can we highlight Ed's comment? Like, just because we need a Nate's out suck.
Not sick. Suck.
Not sick.
Suck.
So basically, I think Ed coined it. Whenever Nate's out, Nate's out suck.
Can we also do this? I think it'd be funny. We got to figure out, Jeremy, I know you probably have a spare webcam. I'll have to see if I have another webcam.
It's all
can we just get one of those, like, make one of those life-size cutouts of Nate, and when he's not here, just put on one of our extra webcams, throw up just the image of Nate.
Okay, I got one better. So I have that life-size Deadpool head. So when I just take a picture of Nate and
just staple it,
just band it to Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then I got a spare webcam around here someplace.
Ed just said though he'll send us a link to a place that makes them really cheap, so we might just be able to get that cardboard cutout Nate.
That would be cool. I mean, better quality than like the inkjet printed Nate face. So
yeah, I'm
interested.
You have me. I said you have me intrigued. Now I said with life size cutout Nate. Then we'll have to send one to our old boss Drew.
Drew. I feel like he would appreciate a Nate face.
He would
appreciate a Nate face.
He really would.
Well, anyways,
I don't know. We got a lot to talk about.
We do got a lot to talk about.
This is basically just going to be a big. It's been a week. I feel like maybe with a little random.
Probably have
at the end.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Why don't Jeremy?
You guys have the story, so why don't I do mine?
That's
and then
what
you
I
guys
thinking,
can and go do your you guys' thing. So I was really bummed because I had a family function I had to fly out to Washington State for, so I didn't get to go with you guys to share in the stories that you guys have. But I did buy something, or I bought it a while ago when it came in finally, cool. Because obviously we couldn't go to cons and I wanted some signatures here. I had to break down and buy somebody, and I got the opportunity for Matthew Lillard.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, nice.
So
on a Scooby-Doo photo.
And he did write Zoinks at the bottom, cool. Which I think is even better. Got to give the credit to Dark Parlor Originals for being my go-to for signatures while cons are not happening.
Hey, I just want to say, I said, if you want to get into signatures, I know the perfect Facebook group for you.
I know
it's dangerous.
I know which one you're referring to, and I will gladly stay away from that group. However, I do agree that they have some There's some benefits.
What's it called? It's Half Geeks Group, right? Is it 69 Collectibles?
69 Collectibles.
Yeah. It's a good group if you enjoy spending lots of money on autographs.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend lots of money on autographs, I suggest you stay far, far away because it's very tempting. Like they're really awesome at posting up the links, be like, hey, this thing's up for pre-order. You know, they're totally on top of that stuff, but it's just super tempting.
Yeah.
Real quick, shout out to Geek Together because we just got a Geek Together raid on Twitch.
Whoop, whoop.
This is the first week that we've done a podcast on Saturday in a really long time. So thank you, Geek Together, for not forgetting about us and sending people our way on Twitch.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, they are live every Saturday, an hour before us at 7 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to check them out. We'll just do a quick, short shout out to the chat. We got Ed, Butt Wasted. So I know Jessica's nearby too. Exo Lurie, talking about Star Wars droids. I don't know what that is. And of course, Gary.
Gary!
Clint just subbed too, so thank you, Clint, for the sub on Twitch. Much appreciated. Yeah, all right, cool.
Everybody.
I'm glad you... I remember you said you had bought something from them a little while ago, because, right, Dark Parlor Originals had, the entire Screencast, which Matthew Lillard was part of, so he was part of that signing a couple of weeks ago.
And I'm kind of kicking myself, because obviously I didn't buy it, but I could have got the movie poster with all four of them signed it.
It was expensive, but
it was
cool.
expensive, but it would have been cool. But I did just go with that. Wanted Matthew Lillard, voice of Shaggy. I love Scooby-Doo. My daughter loves Scooby-Doo. There is nothing better than something that she can get excited for too. It did came with something kind of interesting. It came with a pop sticker on the back back of the thing. I don't know why or what, but I was like, all right, I'll take it.
That's it's a DPO thing. They make those stickers for every signing. So I've got a couple of them, I think. I know God, I don't even remember who I got. I know I have a Scott Hall one from the failed Scott Hall signing. But I've got one or two other ones too. Yeah, they always make them up. And they're giant stickers. They're a good 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, they're pretty good size.
They're pretty huge. So people enjoy those and they do collect them. So it's a cool little extra.
So there was that. And then I finally got to talk or go be on a thing. I was waiting for them to. I'm sure they're in there. But you guys need to go check out one of our good friends and we'll say frequent collaborators, right? When different projects, the Toy Rewind podcast. Because most recently, when I literally got off the plane that day, and then not too long after that, jumped on the podcast with the folks over there, the brothers Newland, right, to talk the 3 3/4 GI Joes. There we go. Talk with them about GI Joes. I re-listened to the episode and everything. I thought it was a really great episode. It's one of my favorite toy lines. I'm not going to toot my own horn here because those guys are really great. But
wait, you re-listened to it? You don't even listen to you?
No, I don't re-listen to me on this one. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to re-listen. So I'm giving them a one more listen, extra play, right? Yeah. So cool. Jumped on there. It was really cool to be on there to talk GI Joes and talk my bullshit knowledge of a lot of this random toy line. I felt like Nate with his random knowledge of different things. I was finally oh yeah, in series 1 there was only these figures. So
very cool.
It was a really good time. So please go listen if you haven't already.
Yeah, right. Toy Rewind podcast, anywhere you listen to podcast. I think it was episode 48. Yeah. So it's up now. I started it. I didn't make it all the way through, but I will. I did notice because I scrolled back through. Jeremy, me, and Nate were on the 12-inch GI Joe episode, right? That you missed because you were out sick. And so right, you missed that one.
I think I was again. It's always I'm never out sick. I was always traveling, right? But
yeah. So you missed that one. But your episode was an hour and 20 something minutes. Ours was an hour and 20 minutes. The 2 episodes that had STS Guys on it are 2 of their longest episodes runtime wise. So I did not make it. I thought that was very fitting. So I didn't make it through all of it, but I'll still knock it out. It was really cool. I shared it up on Facebook and stuff. Like, it got some likes, so that was fun.
So yeah, so that's about it. Like, that's out of 2 weeks, outside of just getting out of Texas and
Texas.
Yeah. Getting out of Texas, going up to wonderful Washington, where it was wonderful temperature. Their heat wave was gone by the time I got up there. So
good.
Temperature was great. Got to see a bunch of family and just kind of unwind for a little bit. It was good stuff.
Nice.
That's awesome. Can we before like Jeremy and I get into Comicpalooza, can we talk about something that Scott, I know you're aware of because you mentioned it on Toy Rewind. We've got bad news, guys. The Dr. Pepper shake.
It's gone.
At Whataburger. It's gone, man.
It's gone.
Limited edition, but it had been going on for well over a year.
Some out for the homies.
It's
hey, whoa! What's that? What's that glass you got there, Scott?
Oh! You didn't see this? I was trying to find a sneaky way to bring this up. Jeremy made me a gift.
Look, very cool.
I should say Jeremy's wife made me a gift,
sure.
But
Jeremy delivered probably. Right?
Jeremy delivered said gift. Yeah. So
that's a cool mug, man.
It is. It is quite a wonderful mug. It is the permanent coffee mug. Jeremy's got his right there.
Nice.
I was me and my wife were devastated. We went to Whataburger, got in that line, and we're like, let's get a shake. And we're like, Dr. Pepper's gone. What the fuck is this peach shake that they have here? Why does this exist? Go away.
Yeah.
Jeremy and I stopped on the way back from Houston. And same thing, man. We got down, so we went inside. I saw the peaches and cream sign. I'm like, oh no. So got up to the thing, asked the nice lady at the counter and be like, so no Dr. Pepper shake? She's like, no, we've got this peaches and cream thing. It's okay. Like, I'll give you a free. She gave me a free sample.
So the funny thing is, the funny thing is, right? When she even like said, she's like, "Yeah, this thing's terrible. you don't want it."
she kind of did, and then she walked it back a little bit, and it's like, well, I mean, you just don't want like a large, but like if you have a little bit, it's good. She's like, "Do you want a little bit?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll try a little bit." It was. I don't really like peaches, but it was okay.
Okay. Or like, so, no. If you're really sad, you can do exactly what I did. You drink half your vanilla shake, and then you go to the fountain and dump a whole bunch of Dr. Pepper in.
Yeah,
there you go.
Same idea.
I will say, Larry, like you, I am not a fan of peaches. Yeah. However, there is one thing in this world that I will eat that is peach flavored, and that is those damn peach rings.
Oh,
the peach rings candy.
Yeah, I don't like those either. So for me,
those things are. Mwah.
So for me, it is the peach mango pie from Jollibee. That is the only peach flavor thing I'll eat, and I don't like peaches and I don't like mangoes, but I like a peach mango pie.
Oh,
and Jeremy and I and Ian did go to Jollibee when we were in Houston too. So
yeah, there's a story there too.
There is.
All right, so let's stop beating around the damn bush. Talk to us, you guys. We finally had a con.
We did, man.
We went to this con.
We did.
Regale me of the stories like this is San Diego Comic-Con, because effectively this is first con in what 2 years almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty close. So regale me. I am so intrigued. I've been avoiding talking with you guys about it so that I could hear it.
I don't know, Jeremy. Where do we start? There's so much. There's the con. There's the food. There's the drive. There's the Houston drivers. Like, where do we start?
First off, did you see any of the cars with the big hubcap spike thing?
No,
which is ridiculous. But coming home today from the mall, I saw one on our street, and I'm like, it reminded me that we didn't see the Houston spinny wheels thingy, but there was one just hanging out in Austin, my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, not a single one. We didn't see a single one.
And we drove around a decent amount. We didn't just hang out at strictly downtown. We were out and about, some sketchy neighborhoods.
We went on some adventures.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think let's talk about. I said pre-con. Let's talk about our Jollibee stop. So I think just because since we were talking about Jollibee, I think so. found, I said, the Jollibee down in Houston. And then I said, went and, we had to get, fill up and get our fill on our Chicken Joy. However, I said, Larry's son and Larry ordered a drink dessert. I don't even know what you would call it.
So I've seen this on the menu before, right? It's called Halo, I believe. But they had a sign there at the one in Houston. And they had it there. Like I've been to a couple Jollibees, like several in different cities, and they've never had it, right? The US ones don't get the same exact menu. They don't have everything they have in the Philippines. So they got this dessert. So I pointed at the sign. They're like, oh yeah, and I want one of those too. And she's like, oh, the ice cream? I'm like, sure, whatever you say, Jollibee counter lady. So we got it. It has some ice cream in it. Right? It's this multicolored rainbow-ish drink.
I had to pull it up because I remember the list of ingredients was ridiculous. So
yes.
I have the description. When you're ready, I'll read it.
Yeah, so it has a little bit of ice cream on top, this big chunk of like ice, and then this mystery mixture at the bottom, which we didn't even know what was in it exactly, so we had to Google it. Scott, if you got the list, run through this mixture concoction that kind of lives at the bottom of the Halo.
I'm real quick. I'm just trying to look and see if they. Yeah, no, they don't have a better one. Okay, so here's this one. So it says Jollibee's Halo has mung, garbanzo, and white beans. So that's that weird paste stuff. Plus shaved ice, coconut, evaporated milk, colored gelatins, Jello.
Yeah. Yep.
Jackfruit, good. Sweet banana, cool. 2 flavors of ice cream and caramel flan. Optional ingredients sometimes also include mango, avocado, kidney beans, tapioca, melon, corn, star apple, Rice Crisp, grated cheese, and corn flakes. So,
like the way I can describe this drink, it's like 3 drunk dudes like sitting all around together, like saying like, "Hey,
yeah,
you know what? Like we have all this shit in our refrigerator. Like it's pledge week at the college. Let's make the rushes. Drink like this magic concoction of mixture of like the most weirdest random shit.
It is,
like,
man,
in a drink.
No disrespect if you're Filipino and you like this, like maybe you grew up on it, but like just boring American guys getting this drink was an adventure. The ice cream was fine. The ice cream tasted good.
Yeah.
I'm not the shaved ice was kind of just like plain ice, so we poured that out to get to the fun part. But yeah, like I legit had a bean in my mouth. It was weird.
There were legumes in your dessert.
Legumes.
Yeah. Maybe multiple. It was the flan. Like there was one weird, like kind of weird consistency that I guess was kind of like a flan. Maybe that's what that was. I don't know.
And it's like the boba balls, like the gelatin, like boba ball things or whatever. Like
it was strange.
It was interesting.
Yeah. But hey, we had a Halo, so that was awesome.
It was awesome. You know what though? Like I said, we'll get to another food story later on. I honestly would have taken the Halo over my other food experience.
Yes.
But anyways, like I said, that was day one. I said that was day one pre-con, right? We also took a trip down to said we wanted to go check out the Coral Sword, I said the whole gaming and podcasting studio / coffee shop. What
that is it basically that exists?
Let's just put it this way, like in terms of like sketchiest parts of Houston that you could probably go to, it's up there. It was an interesting neighborhood that this was in. That's probably all I can say. Like literally you went inside, like I said, it was super tiny.
Yeah.
Like super, super tiny.
I can have a feeling.
We literally walked in, were there for 5 seconds, and then walked out and left.
It was okay. We checked out Coral Sword. It was it's one of those places like it's so small that they make it look cooler on social media and stuff than it actually is. So.
Like, you can always tell, like, even if you guys ever watch the Pawn Stars show,
Yeah,
they make it seem like that's a big building, right?
Yeah.
And you always had to wonder, like, they always shot it from specific angles every time. It's the same angle every single time. And then you find out, because that's basically the only options they have, and it makes it look bigger than that pawn shop actually is.
Yeah.
That thing is tiny.
Same idea. I mean, to their credit, there were a ton of people there. Right? If we wanted to sit down and play some Settlers of Catan or something, I guess we could have. But yeah, not our thing.
Yeah. But like I said, we went, we saw, we left.
Yeah.
We actually spent longer. Like I said, waiting for a train to pass by.
Probably yes.
We spent at the place.
Yeah. So that's okay. It was a thing. We've been there.
Yeah.
But then that was Friday night. So then this Houston Comicpalooza was only 2 days this year. So so we got up fairly early on Saturday. We got there when it opened. So
yeah,
that was cool. What was like your first impression once we got inside?
Very Phoenix fan festy.
Right, Phoenix Comic-Con, Fan Fusion, whatever you want to call Phoenix's main convention.
Yeah, so
it was very similar.
It was very, very similar. I do like though, like I said, I do like our entire, like I said, just strategy as far as like getting into the con first, right? Because like I said, basically, so you go in, and we were lucky enough to get media passes, right? So hey, shout out to Comicpalooza for hooking us with media passes. And then there's also people that purchase VIP passes that where you can get in 30 minutes early. I said to the con floor, and so like I said, I think these passes were like like $170 or something like that. But you know what? As press and as media coverage, to bring basically all of you the most accurate and tactical coverage. The STS guys, they needed to get into those cons early, just like everybody else. So we just like beelined it in and waltzed in. So that was fun and exciting. But yeah, now it gave us a good chance to check out the exhibitor hall. I said lots of people. I said on Artist Alley selling their wares. A lot of people just like said it was almost like carnival atmosphere, because I said we got asked and approached by a lot of people like saying, "Hey, come over, check my stuff," or "Hey."
Very much so.
That doesn't happen a lot in those cons, though.
No, yeah. So
like I've seen people with like an empty con, just like watching people walk by and be like, "Dude, speak up."
Yeah, no,
they
were hungry. Right? This for a lot of the artists and stuff. Like it's their first con back too, especially at least a bigger one. And yeah, they were hungry. They're trying to learn all this stuff. Like, hey, do you like comic books? Hey, come check this out. Right? They're trying to draw you in, and we just kind of politely waved and moved on.
Yeah, we're like, hey, how's it going?
I saw your booth. If I was interested, I would have stepped over. Appreciate it, but.
Ed points out it sounds like they were desperate for human contact. No, absolutely. And honestly, here's the thing: it actually got really busy. Like I said,
busy,
like inside the halls, right?
Yeah,
like
it started off slow. Like it was nice. You can move around. We can look. That's why they were able to talk to you. But by lunchtime, packed.
Packed. Like, just packed full of people.
It's always good to see a good packed con, though. Like it's never fun to be in it, but then when you think about it, like, well, this tells us that the need for these is still there.
No, no, absolutely. You can tell people are hungry to get out. Like so, there was like I said, the cosplayers were all excited. I said to cosplay. Like I said, cosplay is going to cosplay. I said they were all over the place. I said the vendors are every place. I said they were super excited. Honestly, even the guests too. Like I said, right? Like so, they said you could even tell. Like it was like some of the guests that were there. Like so, they were actually kind of excited to be there and actually talk to some of their fans and things like that, right? So some guests, versus others. And so I'll let Larry talk about that.
Yeah. So we Jeremy did too, right? We met a couple guests this time. It was a small but powerful, like small but strong guest list. Like who was there? They had Mandalorian people like Giancarlo Esposito. What's the girl's name?
Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, Katie Sackhoff. Those are two of the bigger ones. They had some wrestlers like Christian. Martin Cove from Cobra Kai was there. So it was a pretty good guest list.
They had a surprising guest list.
Yeah, like
it
wasn't.
for
It
first
wasn't.
con back. I was like, I would figure the first con coming back is going to stick with just the B-listers, right? Trying to get in, like they're not going to get anyone real big name, but yeah, they had a bunch of people coming in there.
Yeah, I'd say the only knock is I think that they probably had a longer guest list previous years, so I think it was a little bit shorter. But who they got was pretty good, and I would say that prices for autographs and photo ops and stuff were fairly reasonable too, compared to what we've seen with some of these private signings and stuff that have been going on during COVID. So I feel like everything was super fair. It was very well organized. Most of the lines moved really, really quick. The one that I was most excited for, which I've already posted the picture on my Instagram, is I met Mark Paul Gosselaar from Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, who signed my Funko Pop. So that was pretty cool. It went like
that. Literally, Larry got to meet an actor from his favorite, one of his favorite '90s.
Yeah, it's like top
teen
5
sitcoms. Yeah,
it's
like, I don't know if it's your favorite '90s one, but one of.
It's up there.
One of.
Like I said, I'm trying to figure out. Basically, Larry, I don't know if you saw this of how we can basically all book a trip to Florida, the entire cast of Full House. I said Bob Saget, Dave Coulier. I said,
and John Stamos too.
John Stamos,
John Stamos.
Yeah. The full crew is going to be. I said at some like Florida con. I'm like,
that would be pretty cool. I did see that. Cool. Those are the ones that get my attention, where it's the random people who don't do cons every weekend, and when you can get a couple of them together, it's extra cool. Like Mario Lopez was supposed to be here too, but he had to cancel. Which kind of sucks, right? He was Slater, so it would have been kind of cool to see Zach and Slater. But he had to bail, which is okay. But yeah, I saw Mark Paul Gosselaar. His line was super quick. He was quiet but nice. So that it was cool to get to meet him. Like you said, that was one of my favorite shows. When people ask like what type of Funko Pops I collect, right? What's like my favorite line, do I like Marvel or DC or whatever? I always say it's the weird stuff that I like best. And my one go-to is Saved by the Bell. So it's cool that I got to get my Saved by the Bell Pop signed. Mario Lopez is supposed to be at Dallas Fan Expo in September, so maybe I can still meet up with Mario Lopez at some point too.
Because I know you got a Slater Pop.
Well, then,
yeah, I do.
And then you got Lisa Turtle coming up at
the Bell County Comic Con in a couple weeks. Yeah, so those are actually the only 3 Saved by the Bell Pops I have. So maybe I can get all 3 of them signed by the end of the year. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, we did that. Then my wife is a big fan of Prison Break, and Dominic Purcell from Legends of Tomorrow and Prison Break was there, so we got a photo signed for her. His line moved super fast too. He was super nice. He had a really great selection of photos, so we picked out a Prison Break one for her. So she was super stoked. And then producer Ian has been watching My Hero Academia this summer. So he was excited because 2 of the voice actors from that show were there. The guy who does All for One and All Might, right? Christopher Sabat. Yeah, right. Who's also the voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
He's a voice in every anime you've ever seen.
He's just the anime guy.
Yeah. So he's one of those.
The most popular guy at the con.
That's where I was going, man. 100%, hands down, no contest. His line was ridiculously long.
I've seen him at 4 different cons, and it's been that's how it was in almost every con I've been to with him.
It's crazy.
So the funny thing is, I mean, me and Larry had this conversation, like, the people we get excited for, right? So like I said, like the people I got excited for was like Ron Perlman and Danny Trejo, and I'll talk about them here in a second. But then Larry got excited for Mark Paul Gosselaar. Like, it just makes us feel old because like I said, all these kids, they don't care about these people. they're just like old people, like that of shows they don't care about.
Who's that?
Like, they're like, oh, who's that? So it's almost like
it reminds me, one of the Phoenix ones, and I cannot remember her name, and I feel bad. I ended up having like a full conversation with a girl that played Matilda because no one was at her line, and I had my daughter with me, so she was just like, "Oh my god, her dress is cute, right?" And I just talked with her for like 5 minutes or whatever. Really nice person. I feel really bad that I forget her name, but it was a thing of like, how many people that are at Phoenix Comic Con are going to remember the kid from like Matilda and Mrs. Doubtfire. Right?
Oh, I believe you're talking about Mara Wilson or Mara Wilson.
Yeah.
She's also Mrs. Doubtfire too, right?
Yeah.
She's
the youngest daughter, right? The youngest kid. So like that to me, it highlights that there's this whole generation of people that only like people born pre 1990 would probably care about.
The anime stuff is interesting because anime is super popular right now, and it's shows that are on right now, right? Still making new episodes and stuff. And there's so many of the voice actors that go around, right? The Goku guy was there too. I forget his name. Like Steve Schmel or something like that.
Steve Schmel.
Yeah. So Goku was right next door. Like people are excited to see him too, but like it's different because they're on right now and they're relevant. Like, yeah, there's the Saved by the Bell reboot that Mark Paul Gosselaar's on a little bit, but like I don't think like kids aren't watching that. Those are people my age.
And the thing with the people that like the new age of anime, most likely too, those two guys are in tons of anime back in the day, and they're still going to go back and watch those older ones, right? They're still you're going to fight once you're out. You're like, all right, I guess I'll go back and rewatch it.
Exactly. Well, and then here's the thing, right? So Ed brings up about Danny Trejo. Let me get into the Danny here. It kind of relates to this conversation. So like there was like these, like I said, like there was like younger like people I said in line for Danny Trejo, and I said they weren't excited for basically Danny Trejo. The Danny Trejo, well, I know that the Danny Trejo from Machete, or I said, or from Dusk Till Dawn, or Sons of Anarchy.
The rapist in Con Air.
Yeah, or Johnny 23, like I said in Con Air. Like no, they were like, oh, you were in Spy Kids.
Like, really?
Well, hey, Jeremy, to be fair, he was Uncle Machete, right? He was. Oh. It's the same character from the Machete movies.
It's not really Machete, right? Like,
I know two things too. Like I saw somebody post up a Rick and Morty sign pop. So he I guess he was in an episode of Rick and Morty.
He was in, it's the most popular. It's the Pickle Rick episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, so that's kind of a big deal. So that's younger too. And then Ian and I watched The Flash. I remember that he was like Cisco's girlfriend's father in a couple episodes. Ian didn't remember who he was, but like he's in some kind of younger shows like that too, I guess.
And Jeremy, I know your story is going to corroborate this, but for a guy that plays like murderers, rapists, and like all these awful things in a lot of his earlier films, nicest dude in the world.
He's a sweetheart.
Well,
the funny thing. So two things, right? One, he's super, super nice. And two, he's super, super short. He's 5'6".
He's a little guy.
Yeah. He's a little tiny guy. Like as badass as he looks, right? Like I said, he's a tiny little guy. No, super cool. So that leads into like one of the autographs that I got, right? Which was weird, right? And I think this is what was strange. Like I said, there's certain this was probably my one complaint about, as I said, Comicpalooza, is like I said, there wasn't one single system for basically how all the guests kind of like said did their fees or that. It's like some people took cash only, some people I said did credit card only, some people you had like I said to buy tickets for, some people like I said you had like I said specific tickets that you had to buy. Like it was.
So were they? So was it? That to me, I think it seems like they went like outside the Comic-Con, and the Comic-Con was just giving them like a booth to be in.
Yeah, like I think
because it doesn't look like it was run via the comic.
Yeah, they paid him like, I think they probably paid him like an appearance fee, right? But yeah, so that was probably like my one complaint is because I said it was completely 100% different depending on who you asked, depending on which guest you went to. Like I think Mark Paul Gosselaar said he was cash only, right? Like here I can only take cash.
So I didn't have any cash, so Jeremy had to bail me out, right? Hook me up with some cash because I wasn't prepared for that. Like it's
who carries cash nowadays?
This is post-pandemic world. I thought we weren't using cash, but I guess you do if you want to avoid
Texas.
Texas. Fair. So it was hit or miss for that one, but I really feel like they all ran good. I know once Danny Trejo showed up at his booth Sunday morning, it went pretty quick. So that was cool. He's super nice. Did you you got a pretty cool photo signed like in green paint pen.
Yeah, so it's this
It
black
turned out
photo.
good.
Yeah, it's this black photo, and I said with this green. I said he signed it in green paint pen. Looks super cool. I don't have it near me. Otherwise, I'd grab it. I should have came prepared. But I don't know. Yeah, super cool guy. Yeah, so got something else from him too that I'm excited to do. I said when the time is right.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. And then you like some cons do, right? They had a booth selling Comicpalooza merch. You could buy like, Comicpalooza lanyard and like t-shirts and that kind of stuff. But they also had some autographed photos from past guests up on a wall for fairly reasonable deals. So I know, Jeremy, you saw somebody on that wall when you were waiting to buy what was it? You were going to buy a top loader to put your photo in. And you're like, hey, might as well grab this too.
Yeah, so yeah, they were selling photo top loaders. So I'm like, hey, I need a top loader, for my Danny Trejo. Then I'm looking at the board, right? I said for specific autographs. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, they have, like I said, literally, it says one of my all-time favorite actresses, one of my all-time favorite Star Trek shows,
Jerry Ryan.
Nailed it. Jerry Ryan. I said up on the autograph board.
When you said actress, I was like, it piqued the interest. I was like, that's Jerry Ryan, and then you said Star Trek. I was like, it is Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, if honestly, if anything out of anybody, right? If I had a thing for anybody, it's Jerry Ryan. Like I said, that was literally, one of my favorite aspects of Star Trek Voyager. But yeah, Jerry Ryan.
For anyone who doesn't know, that was Jeremy's. I mean, geez, at that time, that was like teenage crush, right?
Oh, absolutely. Come on. It's a Borg in a cat suit. Like,
hello.
Come on. Like, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, very cool. So must have been at a Comicpalooza at some point in the recent history because they had 3 different photo options, which is cool. But yeah.
And so I was actually talking to I was talking to Larry about this too. As Ed just pointed out, right? Like she's in Picard now as well. Like so she's in Star Trek Picard.
Oh yeah, very cool. So she's relevant again.
Yeah, so she is relevant again. So for those of you who don't know who she is, she was 7 of 9 on Star Trek.
Was that Deep Space Nine or Voyager?
Voyager. Oh,
yeah.
I said,
I don't know.
Come on. I said.
You're gonna
hurt the Star Trek fans like
the next generation. I don't know. We got a question from the chat. What is a top loader? A top loader is that hard plastic thingy that you can put your 8x10 photo in, or various sizes too. Yeah, there you go. Scott's got one for his Matthew Lillard.
The little not the photo, but the
plastic.
The sleeve, because you'd load it at the top.
Yeah,
like that's why it's called the top loader.
I feel
you
like
load
that is
it
accurate.
from the top.
Are we still live?
I think we're still live.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Both my phones died for a second. All right, cool. Just making sure.
Larry, I was like, how long have we been just talking to ourselves?
Oh, I think Larry died.
Larry died. Oh no!
But I'm still here.
Yay!
He's not dead yet.
He's not dead yet.
Much like the Totally Rad Movie Podcast.
Yeah.
My USB just came unplugged, but I'm still here.
Look at that. Right. He's back. He's back.
That's why it's always good to have your camera and your mic on separate USBs, so you can at least signal somehow I'm still okay.
Yeah, no. It's actually so super. So we could pick up some super cool merch, and then it wouldn't be. a trip, or it wouldn't be. They said a Comic-Con if I didn't pick up something else, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't pick up a certain thing. Bought a hot toy.
No.
Yes, I forgot about that. Of course you did.
So I bought so they had a Deadpool 2. I said figure. So I bought a Deadpool 2 hot toy figure.
Oh.
For anybody interested, I'm not going to put it up on the screen.
No,
but there is a very interesting YouTube comment that was dropped in, and I don't really know how.
Yeah, I'm taking care of it, but it's the worst of the worst.
Wow.
I'm not going to put it up, but I'll say it. I'll bleep out one word because I'm not even going to go with that one. But it says, "Shut the fuck up, fart fucker." the N-word faggot. Like, why would you do that?
Cool. You know, because 12-year-olds, have nothing better to do on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it has been removed. Yeah. That gentleman is no longer welcome on our channel.
Yes. That's
fun.
Moderation.
That's fun.
So yeah,
I don't know, Ed. I was actually asking the same thing. I'm like, that's the title to my new memoir.
Yeah.
All right. So we bought some stuff. We've got some stuff from the special guest, so that was fun. And Jeremy bought a hot toy. Did you say which hot toy you bought?
No, he hasn't. This
Deadpool. I said about a Deadpool 2 figure. Well, then the cool thing about it too is, like I said, and I didn't realize this until I actually got it out of the package and put it in the display case. Is, like I said, all the swords and the knives, they're actually die-cast metal. So the swords themselves are actually metal.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
it's a nice touch.
Yeah, so it's got his little trainee jersey. I said so you can put him in his trainee jersey if you want. But yeah, no, it's really, really good.
So the question is because why doesn't more like places do that with the metal on like bladed weapons? Because nothing is worse than when you have a toy or like a figure that has like a sword or whatever, and you have them hold it, and the sword is like bent with time on the plastic, and you're like, "There's no way I can get that back to normal."
Yeah, like it becomes like just like completely warped, right? Like
and it's like, dude, can you, somehow it's got to get me back, like. Get it back to the way it was, and metal would fix that. It's not like you can actually hurt somebody with one of those, so it's like,
so metal sword. Well, then I said earlier today, I bought another hot toy.
Another one.
Check this guy out. Like, look how awesome like freaking Mysterio looks.
Yeah, does it? I'm hoping. I know this is just kind of a render of it, right? But like the way that mask is, like the helmet with the cloud inside. Like I really hope that effect.
It lights up.
Does it?
Yes. I'm trying to find. There's one where it's lit up. That's reflective, but it does light up. Cool. Yeah, and then all this I said lights up too. So, but yeah, so I said this guy. I said someone unboxed this guy as part of Sideshow Con. I said earlier this week. I'm like, that was really awesome. And then I also bought a print. Like this print is freaking awesome. So one of my all-time favorite. It's a homage to one of my all-time favorite comics. I said X-Men. I said X-Men Annual #1. I said it's a Jim Lee cover for Shattershot. I said #1. One of the very first comics I've ever bought. So it's a homage to that cover. But I'm like, yeah, it's just super, super iconic.
That is awesome.
Very cool. Sweet. So yeah, con-wise, anything else?
Okay, you said there was another food story.
Well, yeah. Well, real quick,
get to the food story.
Yes, we will.
Okay, those are usually the best.
Let's wrap up the con. So it was fun. A lot of good vendors. I think the best part for me and Jeremy, since we've been to a lot of Arizona conventions, it was a whole new variety of vendors. So everyone there was new for us, right? Like Phoenix Comic Con and stuff, you get a lot of the same people year after year. But this was entirely new people. So it was really cool and fun experience for us. A lot of people selling lightsabers, which was interesting.
A lot of lightsabers.
Not just the one booth that we're normally used to seeing.
There were multiple booths. So lightsaber, and they're all packed too. So lightsabers are definitely a thing in Houston, which is interesting.
Houston loves to have a good old lightsaber battle.
Apparently, the artist alley was solid. It was really big. A lot of people selling a lot of really cool prints. I did see someone say that previous years it was like on the second or third floor. So I'm not sure how that works. So this year it was really just on the first floor, the entire con. But the artist said that they liked it better because they weren't separated. They got a lot more traffic and they had a lot more people stopping by. So maybe like the non-artist alley booths were scaled back a little bit, but overall I think it was a good experience for them because we walked by all of it. And like I said, we saw a lot of cool stuff. We might not have made it up to the third floor, which I didn't know there was a third floor. So that was cool. Some Funko Pops, not a ton, decent amount of comic books. a cool cosplay corner with some people like checking out Star Wars stuff. It was pretty cool. I think one of the best parts, though, about the Houston George R. Brown Convention Center is they had some food options. There were like actually some restaurants right there on site, which is cool. Some right across the street, some food trucks out front. And most importantly, Chick-Fil-A was there on Saturday that set up a booth where you could buy chicken sandwiches.
Ooh.
It doesn't get better than Chick-Fil-A.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And you can walk around with beers.
Oh, yeah. They sold beer.
More cons need beer.
Yeah. They had that soda truck that you like, but a different one. You know, like that. I think it's called Wild Bill's in Phoenix.
The Wild Bill's, yeah.
They had the same idea, but it was a different company. So you could get your mug and get unlimited refills the whole weekend and stuff too. So they had that one there. Vanzer Toys Eric asked about Chick-fil-A on a Sunday.
No. Except I had a craving for a Chick-fil-A. We forgot it was Sunday, so we walked down to where they said they were serving the Chick-fil-A. I'm like, hey, what? Why aren't they here yet? And then realized like after the fact, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
So no, you cannot get your Chick-fil-A. I said on a Sunday, even at the con.
Yeah, unfortunately, but so next time we'll have to grab some Chick-fil-A on a Saturday and not wait till Sunday. Oops. So yeah, that was cool. So yes, but speaking of chicken, you may remember from a few weeks ago, I hyped up this great restaurant called Chicken Cone that recently opened up the
chicken nuggets in a waffle cone, right?
Exactly, right. Chicken nuggets in a waffle cone, tossed in whatever sauce you want. They have one on the UT campus in Austin that opened up recently. There's some in other parts of Texas too, including one in Houston. So we were after the con on Saturday, we were like, where should we go eat? Like we wanted to get something kind of different, right? Like something sort of Houston. So we checked out the menu for Chicken Cone. And Jeremy asked me like, hey, so like, what do you get at Chicken Cone? Like what style? And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, there's like one style. Like it's like a Raising Cane's. You can get like chicken nuggets, you can get chicken strips, or like a chicken sandwich. You really don't have any options. But Jeremy was like, wait a minute, what is this? Was it hog style?
Hog lifestyle.
Yeah, hog lifestyle. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? So apparently the Houston Chicken Cone had like an exclusive menu item. So we had to go check this out.
They had the Hog Life Cone.
Yeah, the Hog Life Cone, which apparently like hashtag Hog Life is a thing by this Houston-based rapper called Slim Thug.
Yeah.
Who goes to Chicken Cone all the time, according to his Instagram. It was interesting. So Jeremy and I decided to live the hog life and go to Chicken Cone Houston. We got there. It's a lot smaller than the Austin one. But we got our order in. We both got the Hog Life special. It's like tossed in like, what was it, like buffalo sauce with some bacon and macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
It sounded really good, right? They basically take all their menu items and put it on your chicken nuggets.
Yeah. It sounds really awesome. Real quick, shout out to Russ. Super Russ 9000.
Hey, Russ.
Just got to 1,000 subs, so congrats, Russ.
Oh, congrats.
Subs,
Sweet.
for your YouTube channel. So I watched your that video of you doing your 1,000 sub giveaway. So congrats.
Very cool.
But no, the Chicken Cone. So I was super excited, right? Because like I said, Larry hyped up Chicken Cone so much. I did. I'm like, man, this sounds really, really good. We get in there, and I'm like, the service was like, like
yeah, they weren't super friendly.
I'm like, okay, so I'm like that ought to like set things off, in a little weird stance. And then so we went down and sat down at our table, and then they bring Larry's cone, and they bring mine. They bring him these like, little holders. So hey, that was nice.
But,
yeah.
Are you going to tell us what hog style actually is?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, it's with the bacon and the macaroni and cheese and the buffalo sauce all mixed together with the chicken. Yeah. That's the hog style.
Rather than just the sauce, you get the extra ingredients that are already on the menu.
Yeah. So then we both get our chicken cones, and then we look around like, okay, so I'm like, Larry, I'm like, how do I eat this damn thing? And Larry's like, well, like at the Austin one, we get this little like fancy little stabber thing that you eat the chicken with. There was no stabber thing to be found, so the only thing they had was basically a pile of toothpicks. So it said by the straws. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're utilizing toothpicks to eat our chicken cone.
So we could already tell, right? This one wasn't quite as nice as the Austin one. You
It wasn't
just got a pile of toothpicks.
Yeah, it wasn't up to the hipster standard of the across the street from the UT campus.
Yep.
So and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, that's weird. So I'm like, okay, I'll grab some toothpicks. So I'm get the toothpicks, grabbing my first few pieces of chicken off, and I'm like,
It's pretty good, right?
oh yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's not too bad. So I'm eating, and then all of a sudden, I look in the cone, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? There's a fly, like I said, in the cone. But here's the thing: it's not like the fly landed on the cone. This fly was sauced, like I said, with the chicken, like in the cone. So like I said, so
it got in there.
It got it in there,
like shaken or whatever.
When it was like shaken or mixed together. Like I immediately, I'm like, okay, tap out. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I took like one more bite, and then I'm like, nah, I'm done too. Like I'm like, well, that's kind of okay, right? It was Jeremy's, but then I'm like, no, they tossed mine in that same bucket, like right before Jeremy's. So
you don't know how many more are in there.
No, we gave up, and they were nice. The lady did walk by just to check on us, right, and say, hey, how's everything? And I'm like, well, there's kind of a bug in this, and she offered to do a replacement, and Jeremy declined. She brought it anyhow. Jeremy declined because I don't want your bug juice chicken nuggets. We're good.
My appetite's gone. I'm not eating more of this.
And then to be fair too, right? So like I said, on the trash cans themselves, they had fly traps. Like I said, on the trash can. So like I said, they obviously had a fly problem.
They knew. They knew.
Yeah. So gross, dirty. We will never return to Chicken Cone, Houston. And I'm not in a hurry, unfortunately, to go to the Austin one either.
Not after that.
But just because it's so similar. But we did post, right? We took pictures, of course, before and of the fly. So I did post them up on
I saw
STS
the
Guys.
fly. I saw the fly picture. I was like, there's a story.
Yeah,
there's a story here.
So I did post it up on the STS Guys Instagram story. And on the drive home on Sunday, the official Chicken Cone Instagram page did reply to us and said, like, wow, was this like mixed in or whatever? Like, so I did reply and say, yeah, they offered a replacement. We declined, whatever. And then they replied and said that wait, hold on. So I told them that the Houston one was much dirtier than the Austin one. Right, because I have experience. I'm like, we wanted to check it out
too.
I'm like, we were excited. We were in Houston for the first time. We want to try it out. Like, we liked the Austin one. So I'm like, hey, this one sucks. So she did say that they'd passed the comments on to the CEO of Chicken Cone. So I feel like they were apologetic, but
to the CEO.
To the CEO.
Hey, which I think is Slim Thug.
It's entirely possible.
That's why he's there. Does he have? Why he's there? Is he helped open the franchise?
I think so.
Yeah, like he's part owner of that franchise or whatever, that location. So he's like, I need people to get here so I can make my money.
So we did tag him. Unfortunately, he didn't bother to check our post. Whatever. It's all good. But yeah, I don't know, man. Slim Thug.
Rappers be more busy than the CEO.
I guess, man.
Yeah. Then after that, right? Like, so then you're like, okay, it's like you were hungry
because we're still hungry. Yeah,
you wanted food still. It's like, wait, where do you eat? I said. Then we saw a burger place across the street. Hey, let's go try that. Like, unfortunately, we didn't get to try that just because I don't know. It had the weirdest parking ever. Like, it was packed, and then half the parking was in a neighborhood that was like directly behind it.
It was weird.
Yeah, so that was was weird,
strange.
And then like, hey, let's just drive. Let's just drive. Let's see what we got. I'm like, Larry does what Larry does, right? As he hones in on signs that look interesting.
Yeah.
So
let fate decide.
Let fate decide, right? Let fate decide. So then we're looking. So over on the right hand side, we see basically a liquor store with a Flamingo's Pizza. Was it? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah.
So that was an option, but like the Flamingo's Pizza, like I said, everybody else had windows so that you could see through. The Flamingo's Pizza didn't have windows you could see through. So
it was weird. The sign was super cool.
That's concerning.
It was a super cool like pink neon sign, but it looked a little sketch. And after the chicken cone, we didn't want sketch.
Yeah, you don't want to get salmonella a second time.
So we kept going.
So we kept driving, and then all of a sudden I said, you see like this like 50s style like to diner sign that says Gabby's. Like, hey, what's Gabby's? Gabby's is Houston barbecue. I said, and then I'm like, okay, let's go to Gabby's and see what they have. And then what did they have? I said, what did we order, Larry?
Texas. What was it?
Texas Frito pie.
Yeah. Bowl. It was a Texas Frito pie bowl. So
chili with Fritos.
Kind of like chili. They took all the barbecue meats. Like you got sausage. There's like some brisket in there. Some probably even some like pork. Pulled pork mixed up with some beans and barbecue sauce and Fritos, of course. It was just like this big mash of food, which it wasn't bad.
That sounds delicious.
I liked it. Yeah, it was unexpected, right? I expected you to just get like a barbecue sandwich or something, but as soon as Jeremy and I both saw this Texas barbecue bowl, we're like, with Fritos in it, I'm like, okay, like let's go for it.
Everything's made better by Fritos.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
And being the party guys who we were, we shut the place down.
Yeah, we were there till close.
We were there till close.
Unintentionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine. It was better than it was definitely better than our chicken cone experience. So our random food adventure turned out okay. Crazy. Yeah. Real quick, whisper down to Houston drivers. No one in Houston can sorry for the blanket statement, but no one in Houston can drive very well. You name it, we ran into it. There was like a guy weaving in and out of traffic under the shoulder on the freeway. Like totally unnecessary too, because he couldn't get anywhere. There were cars coming at us, head-on traffic, right, going down the wrong lane. There were a bunch of cars just stopped in the middle of the road for no reason. Like we were only there for 2 days, man, and like Houston drivers are the worst. Sorry.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. It put California to shame. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
Like it was bad.
I've only been there once. We didn't stray much off the freeway, so I don't doubt it though. With the quality of many drivers around that I've seen here,
yeah, Austin's not much better. But man, for a short time in Houston, we saw it all, and it was ridiculous. So.
Shout out to the hotel though. So the hotel we stayed in was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was the Hilton right across from the convention center. Mm-hmm. It was perfect location. It's connected by a sky bridge thing, so you're literally right there.
Oh, so you can just go right in without. Yeah, that's nice.
It was perfect, like the perfect place to stay. Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else?
That's pretty much it.
We stopped at Buc-ee's on the way there and on the way back.
Yeah.
So
two smaller Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
two Buc-ee's that were on the smaller side.
Yeah, one that was probably about the size of like a 7-Eleven, and one that was a little bit bigger, maybe like QT size.
Like a QT size, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you went to the little back, like the backwoods Buc-ee's that don't have all the cool stuff.
Yeah, so the one in Elgin, and then the one in Cypress.
Yeah.
Cypress. Oh yeah, those are like Buc-ee's bought the like a 7-Eleven or whatever. Yeah, you guys. There was a big one. But you probably didn't go that back way. If you have to go back up towards like
there is a big one, but I chose the wrong one on my Google Maps, so we ended up on the one in Cypress, which is the smaller one. If you go a little bit further, there's the bigger one.
Yeah,
it's like 30 minutes more down the road, so we missed it. We didn't bother stopping at that. That's when we went to Whataburger and got our Whataburger. Wait, did I say Whataburger?
What a burger!
There you go.
Nice.
Hey, you get to the other Whataburger one.
All right.
Come on, Bobby. Let's go to Whataburger. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. That's my favorite one.
Oh.
They're both good. But it was a good trip. Definitely recommend Houston Comicpalooza if you're at all interested, especially if you're in Texas. Definitely worth checking out. I know we'll probably try to go next year. Hopefully Scott can tag along. And it'll be awesome. Oh, they have a really cool podcast area too. Dwayne from Three Beers and a Mic and some of his friends in this Pod Houston group did a panel Saturday afternoon at 4:30 that we were able to catch a little bit of. We didn't actually get a chance to say hi to him because it was so freaking crowded, man.
Yeah, the podcast area was crowded.
It was just crazy crowded.
Because everyone and their grandma has a podcast.
Well, that is true.
Just to that point.
Yeah.
There were some grandmas that were talking, and like I said, on a stage. I said on the next area over that didn't have anywhere near as many people as the podcast area.
No, that's true. She was like an author, I think.
Yeah. There was standing room only in the podcast area.
Yeah.
And then Ming, I said Ming was right by the podcast area. We hooked him up with some STS Guys swag. So shout out to Ming.
Yeah, very, very cool. He
liked
our guy.
He liked our new skull logo. I said the lady friend that he was with. I said had a skull logo, like I said, on her side. Yep.
That she thought about showing us, but didn't want to do that on the floor, which is probably a smart choice.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but I saw a stat where you talk about how everybody has a podcast. So I've got it up right now. Like, so active podcasts by year. When we started in 2017, there are 52,000 active podcasts. There are now 1 million. There are over 1 million active podcasts. So 50,000 to 1 million. So yeah, just about everybody.
That's some growth right there.
And like, I can't find the actual stat. Like 75% of them are hosted on Anchor. It's like literally 3/4.
So Anchor
are Anchor.
The podcast market locked.
Yeah, for sure. Which I thought was just crazy high that so many people were like, "Yeah, Anchor, let's go."
Yeah, to be fair though, before there was these apps, because when we started, those things didn't really exist, and you have to have like a computer to record, or like like a recording device or something to record the talking, mixers, all these different things to get. If you want 4 people that each have their own mic, you need a mixer with at least 4 channels, right? Yeah. Like, and those don't come cheap.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But Anchor with the phone thing, makes it so much easier because you can just I'll just talk on my phone. They can talk in their phone. We can be next to each other, or remote or whatever.
It has easy editing capabilities. All right, I'm wrong. It's 56% of active podcasts are hosted on Anchor, but still,
so
half of all podcasts,
over half the market is substantial. So I know why.
Real quick though, does it say what's considered an active podcast? Like how many episodes?
I think it's if you've done an episode, if latest episode of podcast in a specific year, it's not dead. So it's if it has anything within the last 12 months. And I also appreciate that it says is not dead.
Yeah.
So it's like Totally Rad Movie Podcast. It's not dead. Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of other podcasts, Larry, do you want to give a shout out as we wrap up?
Yeah. So real quick, if you want to see some awesome content from us, you should follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at STS Guys. We're on Twitter at STS Guys, and we're on Facebook at the STS Guys. And I'm Larry from the STS Guys.
Show him like a villain.
Show him like a villain.
Ding 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 diggy ding ding. Ding 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 diggy ding ding.
And if you like Funko Pops, you should go to shumistore.com, buy yourself some Funko Pops, or just wait for those FunCon exclusives that drop like in a couple of weeks. But yeah, go to shumistore.com and code STS Guys. You're going to save 10%. Animated Apparel Company. You need some t-shirts. They got some awesome new licensed Transformers t-shirts. Go check those out. Go to animatedapparelcompany.com and code STS Guys. You're going to save 10% and get free shipping. Animated Apparel Company. It's the best.
It's the best.
All right. And if you like podcasts, you should check out our friends who have podcasts.
I don't have friends. I got family.
It makes me laugh every time.
That's pretty good. You should check out our podcast family like Talkin' Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance, The Dorksmen, Geek Together, Secondary Heroes, The Average Nerd Podcast, Nerdy Curious, Movie Retakes, The Toy Rewind Podcast, 3 Beers, and a mic. The Totally Rad Movie Podcast, It's Not Dead Yet.
Hey, expect Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah,
with guest Jeremy. We're scheduling it for next week.
All right, I still have to watch it, but I can do that.
It's on Netflix. It's easy.
Oh, super easy. All right, no, I'll watch it like tomorrow or Monday. And then also super important, go check out the Figure Booth podcast with our friend Nate and Josh. They talk about toys. It's awesome. They don't miss a week. Check out Just a Little Podcast and Pop World Live on. What are we on? Twitch. check out Pop World Live on Twitch. They're good guys.
Perfect. And Larry, for Twitch, set up that raid.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Who can we raid? We can raid Goat versus Fish.
Goat versus Fish.
As is tradition. All right. So with that, Jeremy, take us out.
All right, guys. So for episode 183 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we've been the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
I'm trying to raid with my wrong phone again.
Oh, no.
Hold on, guys.
Give it a second.
We got the raid.
There we go.
Bye. Bye. Bye.